the end of your civilization, and the rise of something worse than you could ever imagine.
Stop.
Doctor?
Intruders, stop. Who are you? Why are you here?
Back in the early 1980s, Jerry Davis submitted his Genesis of the Cybermen script to Doctor Who's then producer, John Nathan Turner. J&T looked at this and he thought, nah, this isn't good. In the end, what we ended up with was one of Doctor Who's finest stories. There's a rough outline of what this story was trying to convey thanks to this Cybermen book by David Banks. I've got to say, it's okay at best. But now, thanks to Big Finish, they have reproduced this as part of their Lost Stories range, with David K. Barnes taking writing duties. When this was announced, I have to admit, I was very excited, but I was also apprehensive. We've already had various Cybermen origin stories, and Big Finish did a superb job with spare parts back in 2002. Luckily, Genesis of the Cybermen is not a retread of that story. This happens to also feature the Fifth Doctor and Nyssa. It's completely different in sound, atmosphere and design. What surprised me about this was how the script manages to balance the bleak themes with some moments I found funny. This is superb writing. The Fifth Doctor stories seem to be fire in the last few years. This continues the trend. Here, the Season 19 TARDIS team land on Mondas in a time which its population faces peril. There's a brilliant twist which sees a time jump 30 years in the future, which sees the introduction of the first Cybermen, because the Mondasians need to survive. It's a very vague explanation of what this story is all about. You almost feel sorry for some of the Mondasians like Tegan. I don't really want to give away too much as it might spoil it for some. Nicholas Briggs is superb as a Cyberman. If there's one gripe though, it's their voices. They sound more like the Invasion ones than the 10th Planet, but you can still detect a little bit of those sing-song voices under the modulator. David Rucroft's incidental music oozes of the 1980s and fits the dystopian nature of this Cyberman story perfectly. For fans who are questioning the continuity due to certain characters being present, you don't have to worry too much. David K. Barnes has expressed that Genesis of the Cybermen can fit in a different continuity to the TV show and Big Finish's spare parts. In essence, this does not overwrite what we had previously. This is another what if the Cybermen's origin was like this. To be honest, this is excellent. I highly recommend you listen to stories like this and goth opera. Genesis of the Cybermen has all the ingredients of a classic. You have your familiar traits here from your popular Cyberman stories. Peter Davison is superb in his performance. Janet Fielding, Sarah Sutton and Matthew Waterhouse are terrific, showing once again that this was one of the best TARDIS teams. You have compelling characters with gripping dialogue. While used sparingly, the Cybermen are just so awesome in this. But a reason why some of you are here is to find out whether this is better than spare parts. Well, I really love this. I wouldn't be surprised if people end up preferring this to spare parts, but alas, spare parts still takes the cake for me. I admire David K. Barnes and David O'Mahony's direction for this, because unlike other certain lost stories, Genesis of the Cybermen is far from a cash grab, as it is completely different to what we've had before. Plus, I would argue that this is definitely an enhanced version of Jerry Davis's attempt. If this Big Finish version of the story had made it to TV screens back then, it would certainly have been excellent indeed.